Carl, what went wrong for you in your fight with Andre Ward?
I lost.
What factors contributed to your loss against Ward?
Andre Ward.
What did Ward do to prevent you winning?
He was very boring, very dull, very negative. You know, his style is to nullify his opponent, and that's what he did. You know, he's very tricky and he keeps out of the way. He's ducking low or he's sat on your chest, smothering your work. So I didn't land many shots. He didn't land many shots, but he did enough to catch the judge's eye and get a close decision. So,
if you had a rematch with Ward, would you be able to make adjustments to get the victory this time?
Of course, yeah. You got to make adjustments. You can't fight the same fight if you've come up short. So I'd have to tactically get it different next time.
Do you feel you've been suited to the old-fashioned 15-round fight rather than 12 rounds? Because in the Ward fight, you appeared to have a very good last round 11 and 12, whereas Ward appeared to be tiring.
Yeah, the last 2 rounds I was on top and I was getting to him, and he was really breathing heavy and hanging on, waiting for the final bell. Where I was starting to push forward and finish strong as I usually do. So I think the 15 rounds would have favoured me, but it's hypothetical that it's not 15 rounds, it's a 12-round sport. It's like saying if football was 60 minutes half time and then 60 minutes for the second half, it'd be different results. It would be. So to rectify that, I need to start earlier. If I was to box Ward again, then instead of having a look at him for 2-3 rounds, maybe just get straight on him and make him work, because yeah, you're right, he was fading towards the end and I won the last few rounds. I was coming on strong, but it was too little too late really.
How do you think Lucian Bute, your next opponent, would have fared if he had entered the Super 6?
I think he'd have probably got to the semi-final stage, but I don't think he would have won them. I really don't.
How excited are you about this fight with Lucian Bute in your own hometown in Nottingham?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be fighting back on UK soil and for it to be in my hometown of Nottingham. I see icing on the cake. It's fantastic, and I'm honoured and privileged to be back in Nottingham fighting for a world title.
What do you believe are Bute's main strengths and weaknesses?
We could be here an hour talking strengths and weaknesses for opponents, but he's a good boxer. He's a southpaw, so he's awkward, and he's quite technical. He looks for the shots at range. Weaknesses would be when he's on his back foot, he falls apart. You don't quite know what to do when he's forced on his back foot and pushed and made to work. So, there's 2 for you.
If you win this fight, you'll become the IBF super middleweight champion. Do you feel you've got to beat Andre Ward, be regarded as the true undisputed super middleweight champion in the world?
I think so, yeah, because Ward's got a win over me, and to be fair to him, if he's beat me on paper, then even beating Bute, I can't call myself the best super middleweight in the world because of the loss to Ward. So a rematch with Andre Ward would set the record straight. But in all honesty, it's not a fight I'm that interested in, to be honest. He's one of them fighters that makes any fighter look bad. He's a spoiler, he's a messer. He's very quick, so he'll eat with a shot, steal the round, and then do what he can to stay out of trouble. That's why he won an Olympic gold medal, and that's why he's not lost a fight since he was 12 years old, because he's very good at what he does. But unfortunately, what he does is very boring. He can't sell a ticket in his hometown of California. TV aren't interested, and nobody wants to fight him. So he's got the titles, but he can't do anything with them, which is a shame, really. But I'm the one fighting for the IBF world title in my next fight, not him. Once I beat Lucian Bute, then it's potentially a fight I would look to get just for my own personal vengeance. But it's not something that I'm losing any sleep out at night, or something that I'm setting up there as a major goal in life to rematch Ward, because the rematch would be very similar. I'd change my tactics, but what he does well. He's very negative, very slippery. He's very fast, so he can get away with what he does. And it's not a fight I'd look forward to. I'd rather fight Mikel Kessler or Jean Pascal if he's still fighting, rather than Andre Ward.
Nathan Cleverly has recently said that he'd be interested in fighting you. Would that be something that would interest you down the line?
Absolutely fantastic. I love to fight Nathan Cleverly, but I didn't know he could do 12 stone. I thought he was a light heavyweight.
Yeah, would you be interested in moving up to light heavyweight some stage after this fight?
Well, he's talking about fighting me. I'm a 12 stone fighter, so is he going to come and fight me at 168 pounds? That's the question I think he's asking.
Well, I presume Nathan's team, I presume you'll step up to light heavyweight, because generally speaking, fighters move up rather than go down. So would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
It's a bad presumption to make that a fighter's going to go up to his weight to cater for him. I mean, if Nathan Cleverly was a big name and he was a world champion, then it's something I'd consider. But at the minute, I've talked about not wanting to fight a bum or not wanting to fight a warm-up fight, and for the same reasons, I wouldn't want to fight Nathan Cleverly at the minute, because he's not a world champion. He's a WBO champion, but that's not a world champion.
After this fight with Bute, what's next for Carl Froch?
A rematch with Bute. In Canada.
That's definitely on the cards, is it?
That's on the contract, not the cards.
What difference has Eddie Hearn made to your career since he's taken over the promotion?
You know, my profile's been raised since being promoted by Eddie Hearn. I'm on Sky Television, which is fantastic, and you know, I've got a massive fan base, and everything's done for me in the background, so I don't have to worry about things getting done. He's very professional, very on the ball, very sharp, and you know, I've got no real major concerns with anything other than fighting and getting fit, which is a real privileged position to be in. So, you know, since signing with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, it's looking back on it, it's the best move I made.
Finally, Carl, last question. What's your prediction for the fight with Lucian Bute?
I'm going to beat him, that's for sure. And I think I'm going to. I think it's going to be a late stoppage, but I didn't give you a round because it gets all blown out of proportion. So I'm just going to have to say I'm going to beat him by knockout.